What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the show about nothing. I'm your host, June 88, and the homie Izzy Phantasmo. This episode 19, 20. Oh, we turn 21 next week, bro.
20. We are turning 21 next week.
And we're going to have some beverages because it's going to be a late episode. Cause I don't think he a day drinker. I'm not a day drinker. I'm a late night drinker. So we're going to crack up with a brewski just to celebrate the 21.
Yes, a late night edition.
So, my boy got the fresh jersey on. Bro, I was looking for they got the Stitch jersey back up on the website, on the Fanatic, Shots Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the new Stitch joints go for $179 now.
True.
That mug, I hit the grand total plus shipping $190. I'm like, a throwback Brian Dawkins ain't even that much. On Michelin, that's not even that much. I'm like, what kind of material is this? Is this like, did Jalen Hurts make this with his own hands? What material is this jersey made out of? You go from Vapor Max and this. Like, what are y'all on now? What are y'all charging for? Who's getting a percentage of this?
It's called inflation.
They can inflate these bills because I ain't with it. But how you doing? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good right now, man. I'm good right now. As you can see, it's a different location today. It's different. I'm not at my usual spot. A lot more spaced out.
Oh yeah. He in a new part of his house, man. He in another part of the house. He like
right. Trying to switch it up a bit.
Man, man. I feel June World 2 drops this Friday, so y'all watch this on
Tuesday. 2023, June's World 2 about to pop off. It's about to be glorious.
Oh yeah, man.
The man is, and this dropping on your birthday too?
Yes, sir.
This man about to be 55 years old with a new hit.
55. Damn.
He is Andre 3K's grandnephew.
This dude said 55. Damn. Heck no.
You can't use that on me.
This dude looks like he's 16. He just graduated high school. He just shaved his BNA like he graduated. He's 16. He just graduated with a 4.0 going to Harvard Law School.
See,
with a minor in trash talk.
I would claim that right now. I would claim that in the name of Jesus. But when I graduated high school, I graduated with a 2. Oh dear God, that was like a 2.9. Nearly a 3.0. I think it was like 2.8, 2.9. Like
barely curved. Like yes.
Hey, look, I graduated. That's all that counts.
That's all that matters. Grade point average, they got to do anything. That ain't going to help me get a job. Like, oh, he got a grade point average of 3.0. He got the job at Geek Squad. Oh, really? Thank you, man.
Bro, like, dude, it's weird. It's weird with work these days. It's like they want you to have experience, right? But it's like if you're new and you don't have an experience, then they want you to have a degree. But if you haven't gone to school for a degree, then it's like a catch-22. It's like you go to school, get the degree, but you don't got the experience, or you have the experience, but you don't got the degree. It's like pick one. Dude,
I remember when I was trying to get a job. I was gonna move to Portland if I got the job. I was gonna get a job at Nike, working at the big joint. I was trying to be a designer for shoes. I'm like, how hard could it possibly be to apply for a job at Nike? Man, them fools for the job I wanted, you had to have 5 years of experience and some software. I'm like, to design a shoe, I design shoes all day. Like, how hard could it be to design a shoe? Like, man, come on, bro, come on.
It's ridiculous. Like I said, pick a thing. It's either you want experience or you want the schooling or both. It's like,
how can I gain experience if you don't hire me?
Exactly.
It's like you work at Geek Squad. You gotta have 3 years of experience in tech. But how am I gonna get experience working in tech if you don't give me a job working in tech?
Facts. That makes sense. Which is why I'm actually really cool. Like I'm actually glad they actually brought me on. the way that they did, because like they're showing me the ropes about like how to do certain things, but it's typical everyday things like mounting a TV on the wall. I'm just learning how to do it correctly. Or
Right.
like setting up a Wi-Fi for the house. Like it's self-explanatory, but you see it over and over again to the point where like, oh, okay, I know how to do this. I know how to do this, boom, there it is. So it's give or take. It's give or take.
I feel you. So how's the Geek Squad? I know we talk about it every once in a while. So how the job going now? How's everything? You settled in now? How much you a month in, 2 months in now?
3 months in, as settled in still. Work is, it's picking up a little bit, still kind of slow, it's the summer months, so a lot of people are on, vacation, kids out of school. So I don't know if there's gonna be a lot more work coming our way or whatnot, but I do know, like, as of right now, it's starting to it's here and there. It's picking up slow. So I'm waiting for it to pick up all the way. If not, if it don't pick up and things get a little dicey or whatever, I may have to double back on a few spots. Looking at a few areas. So I'm not trying to abandon ship. This is something that I'm going to be working with, and just let it ride, if you know what I mean.
I feel. Like I say, man, everything's good. Like I said, with me, same. Got the merch job and June's World 2 coming out. Been working on some new stuff. Got some, man. I just uploaded some of my stuff to my for my engineer, so I'm got that tucked away. Got 4 songs tucked up for the locked and loaded to send off to him to get a mix and match. But I'm in a mode of just creating stuff lately. I don't know, like how I just been like. Normally, I don't create like that. I know I just chill until I feel like it. I hear a beat and I write to it.
Yeah,
I was like, I hear a beat, write to it, and like either if I write today, I like try to master it as good as I possibly can. Then I record it that next day or the day of. Like now that I can, because the joint I let you hear, the 2 joints I let you hear, I recorded those in the span of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So the first one I wrote, knocked that out. With the second one, I recorded the first verse, the hook, and the first verse. I'm like, I gotta add a second verse. Wrote the second verse,
which is a miracle of itself, because this band is notorious for not having second verses on his song.
I see. Here's my thing. Like I gotta have a feeling for something. Like I'll add a second verse with song. I feel like it messes up my story I'm telling. Like I feel like I don't have to.
It, but like there are certain songs I've listened to you from you, and don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like you're kind of selling yourself short.
I feel you. I understand what you say, because a lot of rappers do it too. They just have a verse and a hook, and that's the whole song. Like,
yeah, I get it. I get it. And I understand where you're coming from when it comes to like, the storytelling and whatnot. But me, as a listener, as someone who's like, who's been rocking with you since day one, who's been seeing your progression and everything in between, is like, there is so much more that you can bring to the table. I believe you have so much more to say, but there are certain songs that you just cut short because like, that's how the song is, detailed. That's how the song is like, built. And I'm like, if you had added a little bit more, I think you could have got something more out of it. But it's your own creative process, so I'm not gonna knock you for it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, because I feel like with me, it's more like on the sense of when it comes to everybody, like something I just don't feel like writing another hook. Like I don't feel. I mean, the verse. Like I feel like if the beat speaks to me enough, that's why I wasn't gonna put another verse on the other joint I told you about. But then I'm like, yo, the first, like if I do, like when it comes to storytelling with some of my songs, like my song Location, I got 2 other songs to follow up. So the first 2 don't have a second verse, but the last one is a full song. So it's like I'm telling the story. Okay, boom, this, boom, that. I'm taking you somewhere. It's like the story. You gotta and that. That's how it. The funny part
is it just like that? Is it just like that? Like and then and then
because you go like the follow up to Locations. Those 2 songs is like you gotta pay attention to the first one, then the second one. Like oh snap! It's a whole story. It's like a whole story. Now, that's
Okay.
why the cover art is pretty much the same. Like you see the boom, boom, boom. Like, oh damn!
Okay.
So that's how it goes. But other than that, man, let's kick into the fun stuff. What we got on the first book? There's a whole lot of shenanigans going on.
There's a whole lot of shit, dude. That shenanigans is a word that I love using. It's a very fun word. It reminds me
That
of
is kerfuffle. I like kerfuffle.
kerfuffle's a good one too. There's a movie scene. Super Troopers is from Super Troopers. There's a scene where the chief has the two officers, and they're like, he's kind of grilling them. We're like talking about like what the heck is going on here? I ain't knows nothing but shenanigans. A whole lot of shenanigans. And he gets upset. He's like, the next one of y'all that says shenanigans, I'm gonna pistol whip you. So then they call out, hey Farva, hey, what's that place with all the mozzarella sticks and the goofy on the wall? You mean shenanigans? Oh, shenanigans! Like, put that away.
Damn.
But you know what though? Who you want? But speaking of putting it away, can we talk about one person who just can't seem to put it away?
Which one? There's two. One can't put one clip away, the other one can't put the other clip away. There's too many clips they can't put away. So which one we talking about first? Because one is funny and one ain't so funny.
We're gonna talk about the one that's hilarious right now. The one that put it like this. If I ever get into a situation like this, I was gonna text you this, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. If I ever get into a situation like what we're about to discuss, I give you full permission, utmost permission, to let me have it.
Bruh, punch me in the face if I ever get into some stuff like I need
the J driller and the froggy splash.
No, I need that punch that Jimmy Uso gave to Miz when he was talking, and he thought he was trying to talk to Naomi. I need one of them, like, I'm in the middle of talking to somebody. Yeah, man, you know, yada, yada. I need to come. Hey, Jordan. Oh! What you hit? You know what? I know what I did.
Yep.
I know exactly what happened. Touche, my brother. Touche. I'm going to eat that one.
Let's go ahead and break it down real quick, man, because we Zion Williamson.
Dog.
And Mariah Mills. This
what's her name again?
Mariah Mills.
Bruh.
If you do not know who she is, then you have been living under a rock.
What'd you say?
If you do not know who Mariah Mills is, you have lived under a rock, or you have not seen a computer screen, because she's been out there.
Yes, very out there.
And so let's go ahead and just break it down to it. Supposedly over this past weekend or so, and this has been like about a week going on.
What say that? 54,000 tweets. That, first of all, how do you tweet that much about to one if in 3 days? How do you get that much off?
Mariah Mills has 54,735 messages addressed to Zion in the past 3 days. It is now the highest one-sided communication relationship in human history without a response, surpassing North America and the extraterrestrials.
Dude, how do you tweet that many tweets? 54,000? How do you do that?
Let's go ahead and talk about what caused this situation in the first place.
Talk to me.
So Zion Williamson came out on his social media and was celebrating the fact that him and his girlfriend, I believe, are expecting a child. It's his first one. Mariah Mills, a retired adult film actress, has come out of the woodworks and has started firing off shots, basically saying that Zion has broken her heart and that he hurt her, and that basically he didn't tell her that he had a kid on the way, and now she is basically trying to smear his name.
And it ain't working either.
Now at first, everybody was like laughing at the situation, like, OMG, Zion, what the heck happened? Yada, yada, yada. Stephen A. Smith even talked about it, and I thought that was hilarious how he broke it down. But now it's gotten to the point where like she is 24/7 tweeting and talking about how this man is just how he's trying to like, get back with her and yada yada, and how she's still hurt, and she's basically trying to slander his name. And a lot of people now are just like, bro, you were a former porn star and you're calling this guy out for his adventures. You're calling him out because of XYZ.
Look,
for me, I look at all this and I'm like, bruh, you are sprung. Like, you are like, hold on here.
why you do that? I'm looking at
wait. I got something for you.
All right.
This is from her. I'm gonna say this. Bay. This is Mariah Mills's a tweet from her. This is like, what is day? 12? This is from yesterday.
Okay, what's she say?
Bay at Zion Williamson was spoiling me top money with a ass that you all claim is botched. Jokes on you. I'm up and stuck. Levels you'll never understand.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea. Or hold up, let me see.
I got a lot to say right now.
He still wants access to my kitty. That's why he hasn't said anything. He a sex addict. That's what they do. Zion Williamson, all this drama. He going to be effing all off still. Just made. He let her post that video online. None of us would have known about each other. You sloppy fat F. And some guy named Draco was like a porn star calling someone a sex addict.
Let me get focused. Let me say this. The fact
there's a lot more, but we're gonna stay off that.
I feel like I got told is like a few days ago. He must have sold her the biggest dream.
Mm-hmm.
He must have sold her a dream. And now, I told Izzy this as well. This must have been an adult film star that he watched in his youth. He must have seen a lot of her stuff. And like, yo, when I get on, I'ma get on. And he got on. And then it went to this. I'm like, first of all, I forgot. I heard about this chick before.
Yeah.
I seen her face. I know the face. I've seen the face. But at the same time, it's like people tend to forget about, those kind of people in that line of work.
Right.
So I'm sitting back like, how does one do this? Like, how does one, first of all, how does this even happen? And how does this happen? Like, what did he say that, like, I need to know what kind of, was he in mid pump and looked and they locked eyes and he told her he loved her? He told her everything. He was caressing her, making her feel special. And he looked in the eyes and he said, I love you. And she like, you really? Like, yes, I love you. Then he was like, and that's what, and she fell in love. Like, I need to know what happened. I need to know because I've never seen anything like this on the internet. Because she won't stop tweeting.
I'm looking at her page, right? I'm looking at her thing right now, and I'm just like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Obsession is. Hold on.
Don't do it. No.
No. I just want to know. I just want to know what. I just want to know.
Let's take the
definition of obsession, because obsession, the state of being obsessed with someone or something, an idea or thought that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind. Like Mariah Carey once asked, "Why are you so obsessed with me?"
Black. I don't understand this. I've never seen anything this crazy, like this the kind of girl I'm like, you gotta be, she pull up to your spot and try to air it out or something, do something crazy to you, like pull up on you. You know what I mean? That's crazy kind of like I'm terrified for him.
Look, see him.
Restraining orders, I get that today.
Look,
yeah,
CM Punk once said, I dig crazy chicks. And I followed in that pursuit one time. I was like, you know what? Crazy chicks seem to be fun. They got a lot of attitude.
Freaking crazy stuff, like, bro. How, bro? I'm in the cut like, dog. How you get here? I don't know. He was just
out of everybody he knows, I'm the only one to get into some of the situations I've gotten into.
Just the bull, like, dog. You got better.
But here's the funny part. I've never got into a situation like this. And it seems one-sided, but the thing is, though, like, have we heard from Zion about this? Has he come out and has he explained the situation at all?
Nope. But see, here's the thing about it.
Should he?
No. See, here it go. I mean, me and my brother, Izzy, we both men of the Lord.
Yes. We are both trying to follow the Lord's path.
And so everybody has seen some pornography in their life.
We've all dabbled in the naughty films.
And everybody said, if I could knock down this chick, I would. If I had an opportunity, I'd probably knock down such and such.
Hey, look, in today's society, the way that it's going, more and more of them are making it possible for the fans to get involved in the action, if you know what I mean. But it's like,
hold on, I'm about to make a point. But Zion, the dude actually did, I mean, there's probably rappers and entertainers that done, but they keep their dirt like clean. They don't let it, they probably got chicks signing NDAs and like you ain't saying nothing.
Wait, didn't Jimmy Garoppolo date a adult film star?
I don't know.
I think he did because I remember Stephen A. Smith. He came out when Jimmy was on a date one time, and they found someone like this, like dug it up, like who the chick was. She was a French adult film star, and Stephen A. was like, he nicknamed Jimmy G porn star Jimmy.
Damn, that's hilarious.
And guess what? He stuck with that name. He was like porn star Jimmy. That's what. Yeah. So it's like
that's hilarious.
I guess there's a fascination, but like there's this thing like when you're in the league, when you're like if you're an athlete or whatnot, like NFL, NBA, whoever, that you're able to get with whoever and it's fine and dandy or whatnot, no matter the situation. But
there's consequences of that too. You gotta think like, yo, if I mess with this stripper, porn star, chick, or whatever, there's consequences to it. Like you like, yo, if I lead this chick to believe we have something, because most of the time, if you with a girl for at least if you kicking it with a girl for a whole 2 months, and you're like, nah, we just kicking, this ain't a relationship, we just doing what we doing. And somewhere in the midst, somebody gonna probably catch the feeling and think like it ain't like she like we 4 months and we just ain't kicking, this is something more than what it is.
Yeah, like I understand, I've dabbled in that before. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done that, and it's always been like, yes, we just kicking it and doing our thing, and that's been it. Like, I'm not shy. I'm not afraid to admit it that I've been in that position before. But I will say this though. When it does come to feelings, when feelings do get involved, that's when things can get a little sideways.
And that's what I was about to tell you, because I feel like if doing this, like, even if they was like, I mean, because she ain't saying he did nothing out the line, so everything's consensual. I feel like, yo, he probably made her think this was something more than what it was, because Zion worth millions. You can have any woman you want, literally any woman.
If I've been looking into these tweets, and like the more she puts it out there, the more is like, okay, it seems like there's desperation, is a hint of desperation in the air. But the more I look into these and I kind of read into it, it seems like maybe she didn't know that there was another one that had that he had another one that was possibly, gonna have a child with him soon. That was gonna have his kid. I believe if the case could be made, and I'm just devil's advocate over here, so just follow me for a second.
Hey.
I believe okay, so if I'm playing devil's advocate for a second, right? And I'm defending her. I can't defend you for the multiple one-sided conversation that you have right now. Like I can't defend all that. But I will say this. If it's the fact that she didn't know that he had a baby on the way, and maybe she found out because maybe the chick said something, or maybe she found out through social, like everybody else did, that he was going to have a kid and he was keeping it under wraps or whatever. You know how sometimes it could be like for example, I'm gonna take you way back in the Wayback Machine. You ready for this one?
Oh snap! All right.
Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge.
Oh, yeah, that was dirty. It's kind of crazy right there. That was real life events. Those are true life events.
Follow me here. Matt Hardy's injured. He is not traveling. Lita doesn't travel alone. She's never traveled alone, and she's going to be traveling with Edge because Edge was traveling alone at the time. Now, both of them, 8 hours on the road or whatever with each other talking and whatnot. Lita said that they had found out, like they figured out they had way more in common than what was given at the time because, they hadn't really talked to each other like that. Matt Hardy is best friends with Christian and Edge, right?
Right.
So then one day, Matt Hardy wakes up. Matt Hardy notices that Lita is like being standoffish, being distant, yada, yada. And then he kind of sees her phone light up, and then he sees a voicemail from Edge. And that's when he hears a message talking about that he loves her and that if you're still going to be with Matt, then I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, yada, yada. And that's how he found out that they had an affair. And we all know how that played out from there, right?
Yep.
But here's the funny part. I saw this. Isn't it ironic that Matt and Edge are happily married, but Lita's still single?
I heard somebody say that's freaking hilarious.
But that's beside the point. So put that into context of this one. Mariah and Zion, they're messing around, right? And they're doing their thing.
Okay.
So yeah, she finds out through social media or like everybody else that he's got a kid on the way with another chick, right? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Zion, congratulations. That's going to be so cool. She finds out and she's hot because she didn't know a lick. She didn't know a thing about this. So now she's pretty much venting online saying, how come you didn't tell me? I can't believe this. And basically she's just hot. So all of this that we're seeing here is basically her reacting to the situation. This is her only way of responding to a situation. Now, I'm not saying it's right. We're not saying this is a good move. But what if this is like her venting and letting it off instead of like,
dude, okay, 30 tweets, cool. 54,000 tweets,
but
that's bullshit.
Hold up. I wasn't done yet. I was saying though, like I said, what she's doing now with everything she's airing out like this, not cool. It's wreaking desperation and obsession.
Yes, it is.
Well, what I'm saying is, what if she had talked to Zion, like call him up, or like they actually cooled down, got together, talked, and then like, look, I didn't know this was gonna happen, yada yada, and they let bygones be bygones, meet in the middle somehow.
I'll argue this. I feel like it's hard to keep unless he didn't tell the new girl, the girl he's with, the mother of the child, that whatever it is, whatever the situation was, maybe it was like, yo, they were split at the time, yada yada yada. I'm doing my thing.
Maybe it was just like, he got with one chick, he got with the baby mama that's gonna have his child. They got together, messed around, did their thing. Then he got with Mariah, same thing. And then all of a sudden, she told him that she was gonna have his kid, and then he's like, went back to her and be like, okay, now I gotta own up to this one.
But my thing is this. I'm like I said, I can't tell nobody how to react. or whatever. Like, I just feel like when you date an athlete, you gotta expect like you probably ain't the only woman in the picture.
I mean, if your main source of communication is Snapchat,
I'm just saying, if you don't have this man direct number.
Now here's the crazy part.
Who? I mean,
she's been posting pictures. She's posted pictures of actual text messages, not just Snapchat messages, but actual text messages from him back and forth.
Well,
maybe there's more to this, but then again, though, it's like,
but how do you let something run this far? I get it. Dudes, we think with our tools all the time. We don't think with this. It's like, yo, once you start thinking with your tool, you're pretty much lost.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like maybe it probably was a one-off thing, but he kept going back to the well. What they say, you go to the well one too many times. Mm-hmm. And especially even if you just freaking with, like, you know, doing your thing with a chick, you going back every now and again. Somewhere in the midst, somebody gonna start liking somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all may like each other, but you're like, I don't really want to do this because I know how you get down. But I got this chick I'm talking to, and it's getting kind of serious. I want to get this last one off with you, but the last one is never the last one. Now, this girl liking you as much as you are withdrawing your feelings from her, she's getting deeper and deeper and deeper into her feelings with you. Now, nobody wants to find nothing out on Facebook. Nobody wants to find that they got fired on Facebook. Nobody wants to know they got released from a team on social media.
Nobody wants to find out that their team is going behind their back and trading for another quarterback who's had multiple allegations to his name.
It's pretty much goes like, bro, we gonna switch gears, but okay. You don't want to find out. It's kind of like saying, for example, say you get married, you ask your girl to propose to her, right?
Yeah.
And say you do it in somewhere on vacation, right?
Yeah.
You don't call your mama, you don't call your daddy, you don't call Joe, you don't call me, you don't call nobody.
It's just a spur of the moment thing, right?
Yeah, and you post the pictures on Facebook, Twitter. Not Instagram. You on Instagram,
right?
And your mama sees that, and your sister see it, and I see it, and like, why I gotta find on Facebook why I gotta find on Instagram that you yada yada yada. I'm not mad or nothing. Your mama, your family ain't mad. Like,
why weren't we involved in this?
Or why you call me and tell me you did this? It's like, why you ain't call us to tell us you proposed or you feel me? You don't want to find.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, bro. I get it.
You want to be in the mix, like, yo, and I feel like I said, for Zion, his situation, I'm like, bro, I feel like you told this girl what it was. I get it. That's why they say you need NDA, so people don't say nothing. Like, yo, we signed this NDA. We ain't going to be talking about keep it on the hush hush. But I feel like you got to, like, you really had to hurt this woman's feelings. She's still a person, ex-porn star, regardless of what her past is. She's still a person. She still has feelings. I will never down nobody's feelings. I don't give a damn what your past is. You are a person. You have feelings.
Exactly.
So she really...
You always got to keep that in your mind. Like, how's this person... It's not just who the person is or what they're associated with. It's like, look, athletes are human beings. We always hear that. Athletes are human beings. You know, entertainers, songwriters, art authors, whoever, they're human beings. They have feelings. They have emotions. Their mental's always, left, right, up, down. Like, everybody, no matter who you are, is a human being. Point blank, period. Will get caught, feelings will get hurt, and people will react differently to said feelings getting hurt or shot or whatever.
And we're not here to tell people how to feel.
Exactly.
I'm just feeling like
this is a sticky situation on all sides.
Yeah, I really want
a very sticky, messy situation.
Like I told Iz, I'm like, bro, he had to sell up one hell of a dream for her to feel like you can't be like, you really can't expect. I mean, it's like, yo, you really think Hell, this girl may have thought she was in a full relationship. She probably thought they was in a relationship. He probably said something to insinuate that it was something, but it really wasn't.
Right.
It had to be like, that's the part I want to like, what was actually said to make you go off? Because nobody goes off like this. Nobody goes off for 54,000 tweets strong. That means you tweeted every second for 3 days. I don't even know how you get to that many. Is that like when they say 54,000? Is that just tweets about him? Because ain't no way you get me to believe that one person could fire off that many.
I think maybe it's more like his name is attached to those tweets. Let me go back and read this again.
Because I can't think of nobody that can fire off that many tweets.
Let me see.
That's impossible.
Let me see.
That's a year's worth of tweets.
So 54,735 messages addressed to Zion in the past 3 days. So again, maybe he's just mentioned in it, or like she's just putting his name out there. But I don't know, man. Like I said, this is a really weird, sticky, just a messy situation. And it's like, it sucks. It's sad because it's one-sided, and like she's putting herself out there, and she's basically giving everybody on social media cannon fodder to basically go after her for this. And Zion hasn't responded yet. That's what makes it worse. If Zion was to come out and say, yo, chill out, and this is what's going on, or if he was to make a statement or something, then by all means, I think this will calm down a bit, or this would ramp it up a bit more. But the longer he doesn't respond, and the more that she's putting out all these tweets and all these things out there about him and all these pictures and yada, 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 it's going to be one long off season for him, bro.
I feel like this. We gonna switch.
Yes.
I feel like with this, it's kind of like you said, like this girl can be telling the truth. But the fact that you telling the truth and nobody's like listening to you, it's like Zion, like Zion a piece of trash. I'm gonna come on this show and say you a freaking piece of trash for doing this to this girl. Mm-hmm. But the fact you ain't saying it, but if he trying to like, because this girl,
I think he's thinking, I believe he's waiting for this to die down. I think he's trying to like push it off to the side, quiet the noise, like ignore the noise, and just hopes and believes that it's going to die off, that she's going to just like tire herself out and leave it alone. But I think with every reply and every person like hopping in the comments going after her, she's feeling more obligated to fire off another response or fire off another tweet or whatever to try and prove that no, he really is this guy. And it's like, until we hear from him, we won't know. That's it. Until we hear from him, until he puts a response out, says something, anything, just to be like, to quiet the noise and just like shut it down once and for all. If anything, like confirm or deny whatever she's saying, then this is going to continue on. And again, it's going to be a very messy offseason for him because, again, like with Zion, let's go ahead and keep it a buck right now. He hasn't played a full season in like a year and a half. He's been hurt. He's had the weight issue. He had the ankle issue. Like he hasn't really been able to stay healthy in the NBA. He hasn't really been a full distributor or he hasn't been really a part of the Pelicans organization in a good while.
To be honest, I forgot he even played for the Pelicans. That's how I forgot he even played for the Pelicans.
So the fact that now he's trying to get healthy so he can play a full season and so that he can at least show that he can still play in the NBA, but now he's got a baby on the way and he's got this.
And I don't think, and then at the top of it,
this is distraction after distraction that's coming after him, bro.
And I don't feel like it ever gone this. When you're dealing with a situation, I don't think the funk is ever gonna go away. And speaking of funk,
hey,
John Morant getting suspended for they giving them how many games they looking at?
I think I heard 30, maybe.
I thought it was more.
Was it more?
I thought it was more. I could be wrong. I said 50, but 30 is fair in my book. 30 is fair.
I haven't heard anything.
I heard about him missing some getting suspended for a few games, not a few, a hefty suspension. Put it that way.
Let me see. I know the last time we discussed it, we were thinking that 50 games, half a season, was going to that 50 games was going to be way more appropriate. But as of right now, he is suspended from team activities. That was by the Memphis Grizzlies. They suspended him from all team activities, but we don't know exactly how long the suspension is going to be until after the NBA Finals.
Man, John Morant can't even go to the team picnic. Ain't that a dog? He can't even come to the team, to the coach's kid's birthday party. He was suspended from everything, yeah. But yo, let's get focused, man. Today, then we're gonna go to the NFX. We're gonna go to the XFL.
Okay.
Today, game. If we're gonna get, is it gonna be 4? Is it gonna be Denver and 4? Is they gonna get that? Are they winning tonight? I mean, I feel like Joke about to do some Joker stuff.
Hey, the Larry O'Brien Trophy will be in the house in Denver tonight. Will we see Jokic? Will we see Murray? Will we see the Denver Nuggets take the NBA title, their first NBA title? Will they win it in Denver tonight?
I would hope they do, just off the strength, because I'm like, yo, Denver deserves. If there's ever a team I can say deserves something, it's Denver. Because they always get like right. And I don't like Miami. I don't like the Heat. I never liked the Heat. I've never liked the Heat at all. So it's like because one, they beat my Mavericks back in the day when we went to our first NBA championship. They beat us.
Right.
Then we came back and got that get back on. It's cool. We got a lick, but still, that first, I never really been a fan of Miami like that. But hey, they're at home too, right?
They're playing at home. Yes, they'll be playing 5 in Denver.
That's gonna be. I'm hyped. I got my money on Denver.
Speaking of the Denver Nuggets, check this out. Stan Kroenke, owner of the Denver Nuggets, has joined the Midway Rising Project as a majority investor in the San Diego Sports Arena project.
What that mean?
Basically, the owner of the Denver Nuggets is teaming up to possibly bring some more sporting events to San Diego.
Okay.
San Diego already was approved for MLS expansion, Major League Soccer expansion. So they will be having their season, I believe, in 2024, 2025. Don't quote me on that. And now it could be that, there could be something tied to it. But there is something that popped up on my timeline one time or the other. And there's a player on the Denver Nuggets who's played 13 seasons with 13 different teams. And this is going to be his first legitimate chance to win a ring.
Right.
Ish Smith. His name is Ish Smith, Ish Smith, has played 13 seasons with 13 different teams.
Hold on. Time out. 13 seasons, right?
Yep.
13 teams. Just ride with me real quick, man. Buckle up. You just said this man played 13 seasons with 13 teams. And this is his first chance of getting a ring. So none of those teams you were on in your 13 seasons and 13 teams never got to the NBA Finals. What team were you on?
Here, matter of fact, I'll give you the list of all the teams he's played for. Because all this, and I was like, it makes sense.
Because this don't make no damn, not no team. There's 32 teams in the NFL, right?
32 teams, yeah.
And let's say you play for 12 of those teams. So none of those teams you played on sniffed a Super Bowl.
Here, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you got Houston Rockets.
Okay, that makes sense.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, you weren't going to win them with them.
Now, granted, this is all 2010, 2011, up to this season.
Okay.
Who's TOT? Is that
Toronto?
No, I think Oklahoma City. So let's see. He's played for Houston. He played for Houston in 2010, 2011. Memphis in 2010, 2011. I believe Oklahoma City. He played for Golden State back in 2011, 2012. Orlando in 2011, 2012. He played for Milwaukee. He played for Phoenix. He played for Philadelphia. He played for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's played for the Detroit Pistons, the Washington Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets, and now the Denver Nuggets.
Man, he played for that 2011, 2012. Now I know he was mad as hell when they went to that championship that year after he left. Wait a minute, hold on.
But here's his, in the playoffs, he played with the Memphis Grizzlies. He played with the Orlando Magic. He played with Milwaukee, Detroit, and Washington. But this is the very first time he has been to the NBA Finals, and he is one game away from winning a ring.
And I hope he get it, man.
Hey, look, Denver plays at home tonight. They play at home tonight. The game starts at 6:30.
You think Melo gonna be in the building? Think Melo gonna be in there?
Oh, he better be. I believe he's gonna be in the building. Like that's the team that brought him into the league. If I was Melo, I'd be there. Like, yo, hey, I gotta rep the team that brought me in.
I gotta bring the team out. I gotta bring the team out the tunnel.
Oh, let Melo be the one to bring the team out the tunnel like that.
Not just regular Melo. It gotta be Hoodie Melo.
Woo, Hoodie Melo.
Hoodie Melo, bro.
But dude, you know Hoodie Melo didn't really come out till like he went to New York.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
But like Hoodie Melo in Denver, rocking the 15. I'm just saying. And he got to come out hitting the 3 to the dome.
Dog. You know what, though? I got a question for you, bro.
Talk to me.
Have you ever lost money before? Have you ever like lost money? Like you had like some cash on you, like you thought you put in your pocket, and you looked in your pocket, ain't there? You lost it. Have you ever like lost money on these gambling apps like fantasy like booking apps and whatnot? You can like bet on teams. And have you ever lost money like, I'm gonna put like $5-10 and you lost like $5-10, you ain't win nothing?
Yeah, I mean, like in a little like a little community pool, whatever. Like we'll put like 20 down on like a list of games for the week and whatnot and yada yada. But yeah, where are we going with this?
Have you ever lost $60 million before? Have you ever lost like $60 million on something you put an idea on, and now it's like, damn, people making fun of you? Like, have you ever lost? Have you ever heard of a man by the name of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, owner of the XFL, who just lost $60 million on
I've heard about that one. Yeah.
And now they're supposed to be doing like a summer tryout thing in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, that's what they're doing. Matter of fact, here it is. New York Post reports Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson confident in XFL's long game despite reported $60 million loss.
So what's the long game he playing? Like that's what I want to know.
The XFL lost $60 million this past season, according to Forbes, the first season since Vince McMahon sold the league to a group led by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in late of 2020. This version of the XFL under Johnson and longtime business partner and ex-wife Danny Garcia led to a consortium to purchase the league for $15 million, which returned this past season. Despite the financial loss, Johnson insists the League of Opportunity will have a long-term success. Football was my dream, Johnson said in an interview with Forbes. The NFL was my thing. I was going to buy my parents their first house. Football didn't end on my terms. I wish I'd had the XFL when I was coming out. As of May 22nd, 67 players who participated in the XFL during the 2023 season had been invited for NFL teams. 22 of them have signed NFL contracts, according to the league. Johnson insists that the XFL is not a side business for him, that the league has vision under the current model they're following. This is not just an endeavor that I'm going to fill up a portfolio and one day we'll flip it and we're out, Johnson said. This is a legacy. This is the long game. The league is projecting $100 million in revenue next season, Forbes indicated.
Let me tell you something about the XFL. What did I tell you the first week of the XFL? I wasn't really. You say yo, tell you like yo, bro, give it week 3. I gave it week 3. I was gassed. all the way. My thing is, it's a little slow in the beginning, but whatever. But I expect big things next season.
Right.
Now, I was at a crawfish boil for my pretty much my cousin Wes. Him and his wife. They just had their daughter last week. Yada yada yada. And I met a old friend, like met him years ago. Yada yada. His name is JT. Like, yo, he had season tickets to the Arlington Renegades game. Like, oh, you got season? Like, yeah. He said, and like, I'm like, yo, XFL is people really. I didn't think people were really rocking with the XFL like that till you meet people that really rock. But all right, cool.
Because think about it like this: it's like,
hold on, I'm about to get to that. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I like the XFL because right after the Super Bowl, the next week is more football.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, it's kind of like you getting a good meal. Then right after that good meal, dessert.
Woo! Whoa. We're talking about wait. Thanksgiving meal. And then right after, pumpkin pie fresh out the oven, vanilla ice cream with the whipped cream on top.
See, I like apple pie, with the whipped cream, with the vanilla ice cream on the top. I like sweet potato pie, I still bang with. I still like. If you got a pumpkin on the menu, I'm gonna have a pumpkin pie, but you gotta have the apple. I like my apple pie hot. I don't like my pumpkin pie and my sweet potato pie hot. I don't like it. I like it cold.
I don't know you anymore.
Bro, I gotta have my mama make sweet potato pie I love sweet potato pie. I gotta have it cold. For some reason, it tastes better cold. I'm dabble with pumpkin pie.
Okay, that makes sense. But me, I gotta have it hot. Like we'll let it cool down a little bit, let it be a little bit warm. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I feel like I said, but apple pie, it gotta be piping hot out the oven. Throw that ice.
Okay, I can deal with that. But back to the subject at hand.
But it's like, but then it's like NFL is like the appetizer, right?
Appetizer. That's the main meal.
But then the XFL. Then what's that?
That's like the dessert.
Okay. You got the meal. Then you got the seconds helping. Right. Then you got USFL, which is dessert.
Right.
No, scratch that. No, you're right. XFL is dessert.
Right.
You feel me?
And then the USFL is like seconds to the dessert.
Yeah, it's like
the left is like the seconds.
And with the XFL, I'm like, I like St. Louis has the best crowd.
St. Louis and DC had the best crowds.
Well, as far as stadium, St. Louis gotta beat.
Bruh.
DC ain't got nothing on St. Louis.
See, I'm gonna say this right now. I think the NFL made a mistake in moving the St. Louis Rams out of St. Louis.
You said that at the beginning of the season.
I think they made a mistake because if you look at how St. Louis rallied behind the Battlehawks, if you looked at how they packed out that entire stadium, how they cared for that team.
It was week 3, right? 4, okay.
They played 3 games on the road. Their first home game was week 4, and they packed out the entire stadium.
The whole stadium, dude.
They packed it out.
And the only thing, like I said, I'm in Dallas. The Arlington Renegade, if you watch that game, the crowd wasn't like big. I'm like,
But here's the thing though. You got to look at the stadiums that they played in. DC, San Antonio, St. Louis. What do those 3 stadiums have in common?
What that is? Domes?
All small venue. They're like all small venue stadiums. Like the maximum amount of fans that each one can hold is like 20 to 30,000. I think the dome in America's middle, though the one would sit where St. Louis played.
Yeah.
I think that one right there held the most. But the thing is, though, a few of the teams played in soccer venues, so they were able to pack the stadiums out big. They were able to pack them out and get the maximum amount of fans.
Right.
So like teams like the Arlington Renegades,
they play the
Dragons and whatnot, and the Vegas Vipers.
Yeah, and
even Orlando Predators. They're playing in like 67,000 seat stadiums. They're playing at
the Orange Stadium. They flipped it to a football.
The Renegade. They're playing in the old Arlington ballpark where the Rangers used to play.
Yep.
So you got teams like you got Arlington, you got Seattle, you got Orlando, you got Vegas. They're all playing in these like you got college football stadiums, and you got like professional football stadiums that hold like 67,000, 50,000 people, but yet you're only filling out like maybe 12, 13,000 seats, and they're all like lower bowl. So it's not like it's not like they don't got fans. Don't get me wrong. They got people that are coming to support. It's more like it was brand new. It was just starting up again. And the reason I kept on telling you, just give it a second, like let it heat up a bit, is because, again, this was the first time in 3 years, that they got back to playing ball. This was the first time, because remember in 2020 they got to like week 5 or 6, it was gaining steam, but then COVID hit and it shut everything down. 3 years later, they were just trying to get things rolling again, and it took a little minute. There were some kinks, there were some little nicks, and there were some little things that they had to fix up, and they're going to tidy them up going into season 2. Don't get it wrong, they will, but it's going to be like, there was a lot of things that they did right that a lot of people were a fan of, and there were some things that they could have done a little bit better.
Oh, speaking of fans, I love the fact that you can, how they do the challenges. You go back to replay, they show I like how they break down, I like how they got all they settle. I like to settle how they break it down, and like with the XFL, it's like it gives new life to people that probably couldn't get to the NFL or
and in fact, they have a documentary called Player 54, where it's like a lot of those guys that were playing in the XFL were either former NFL players or guys that were just coming out of college that didn't get drafted, or whatever the case may be. They were pretty much the 54th guy on the roster. They were like this close to making it, but they got cut at the last second.
And like see, here's my thing. I'm gonna be honest. Like Arlington Renegades, it happened the year 1 when they started. The quarterback situation was butt. You know what I mean? And then they got the guy we picked up, old buddy, he had just got cut from Vegas.
Luis Perez.
They got cut. We picked him up, and then he changed the whole. He was like, I don't even want to use this analogy. Like,
do it.
He was like what Jalen Hurts did for the Eagles, he did for the Renegades. He gave the team new life. It was I don't know what he did in that locker room. I don't know what he did, but he did it. He got us all the way to it. He picked up for where but he left off. Like, all right, cool. He did. No, I tell you, he pulled a Nick Foles.
He really did.
Okay,
He
I tell
really
you, but it was like a Nick Foles, Jalen Hurts mesh. Like, he ran the team rallied behind. Like, our record wasn't that great. People like how Arlington Renegade beat the better team won.
Mm-hmm. Like, dude, DC had the best quarterback the best quarterback in the league, and he folded in the championship game. Arlington just came out the gate hot.
Yep, and I told you, but getting in the season, I said, watch, don't let DC do what I think they're gonna do. Don't let them be winning all these games and lose the big one.
And what happened?
They lost the big one.
Dang.
And I feel like with people who I don't know how the XFL work. I don't know if I know they got the try in St. Louis.
Yeah, they got it going on right now.
I don't know, like you just walk in, sign up, get a tryout, and I don't know what they pay like. I think if you still got some years in, like, yo, I'm out of college, I didn't get drafted, yada yada. I like the opportunity that it gives somebody who didn't get to play in the NFL or you sat behind. For example, I don't know where he's at now. Mike Weber Jr. played for Ohio State. He won. I think he won the championship. He was on the bench with that year that Kansas won their first championship. He was on that team.
Yeah.
But he got cut. He sat behind. He got drafted to the Cowboys. But you sitting behind Zeke, you ain't never touching that ball.
Right.
You never getting on that field. Then he played for Green Bay for a little bit. Never got on the field because look who he behind.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to the USFL. Got drafted, got cut. Like, just dealt a bad hand. You know what I mean? Like, but this gives you another opportunity. That even I don't know if you want to play ball no more, but still it gives you an opportunity. All right, cool. I still can play.
Right.
I still got a chance. But it's talking about running backs.
Let's talk about it.
I got another question.
Hold on. Yes. So the running backs in the NFL, they have had a very, very interesting situation this offseason.
Yes, they have.
Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. They all have one thing in common.
Hold on. Tag.
You're it. They've all been franchise tagged.
And for the people who watch our show who don't know what a franchise tag is, please break down a little bit what that franchise tag does.
Long story short, what the franchise tag is, let's say you, Tony Jones, Mr. Junie June, running back out of the Ohio State University. O-H. You're supposed to say it. O-H.
Oh, I-O. I thought I know doing the whole thing. I know we're going to do the whole thing. I thought being dignified on the show. We're not being dignified. Okay, we're being ignorant. Okay.
I mean, dude, that's not being ignorant. I was just saying, like, if you're going to rep your school, rep your school. But anywho, so you coming out the Ohio State, you like top 10 running back, you coming out first round, you get drafted, right? You get drafted by let's say, I'm not going to put you with the Eagles, even though that's your team. I'm going to put you with the Chargers.
I'll take that.
You get drafted by the Chargers, right? Kill it, right? You're killing it. Like, you're getting like 900 yards, 1,000 yards rushing. You got like 10 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns. Like, you making moves. Like, you making waves, right?
Okay.
So then it comes down to it. You get to your contract year. You already got your fifth year option was picked up or whatever, right? Or like it's between you and it's between another player. Fifth year's got to get picked up, right? You're on the edge of, like, you know, either your fifth year got picked up, it didn't get picked up, and you're about to hit free agency. Either way, you're looking to get paid, right? You're looking to get paid. The team decides that they're not going to pick up your fifth year option. The hell?
You good?
Yeah. I was like,
is there evil foot. Hold on, y'all. Better not be no butt going on in here.
Exactly. Like that been now, I'm over here. But no. So it's like you are pretty much at the verge of getting picked, like you gonna get paid. But the team don't want to pay you the money you are rightfully owed. So what they do is they tag you. Instead of allowing you to test free agency and see if you can get your money's worth, what you're owed, the team pretty much tags you and puts a 1-year tender on you. And it's pretty much a limited amount of money you're going to get. And it gives that team pretty much all the control to levy out your contract situation. But to get a better understanding of it, we're going to listen to the man himself. Listen to what Mr. Saquon had to say about this.
Okay.
Together and find something that works out better for running backs, because it seems like a lot of guys are just not being paid at the value that they need to be paid.
I don't know, because that's going to be in 10 years. And to be honest, I love the game a lot, but I don't see myself being on a football field in 10 years. But what I will say about the running back market and the value of it, what do you think is going to happen? They tagged the top 3 guys. We didn't even get a chance to hit the open market. So when we don't get a chance to hit the open market, it hurts a guy like Miles. It hurts all those other guys. They put the cap at 10. And then when they have the tag, they have all the leverage. And that's the reality of it. But there's a personal side of it too. There's a human side of it too. And going off back to the question what Kim said, how I felt like that, they're diminishing what I've done since 2018. I'm not saying that, but everyone will talk about the running back market and this and that and the third. Every team is different. Like everyone, there's a thing that goes up, and I think you mentioned it before about quarterbacks in the Super Bowl and how many rushing yards, the top rusher. But every team is not like every team. Pat Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time MVP, and like this is not everybody had Pat Mahomes, and this is no knock to Daniel Jones, so don't even try to flip like that. And then you look at the Eagles who play. Jalen Hurts, a great quarterback. That team is amazing, but every team is not the Eagles. Every team don't have that much talent. And when you come to my situation, come to me personally, I feel like that I helped our team a lot. I feel like not only on the field, but off the field. I feel like as a leader, I feel like obviously there's a conversation of my numbers going down. I think there's a whole lot of other stuff that happened to play as NFL. We were a one-dimensional team in the beginning of the season. We were running the ball. We have a great coach. We played Detroit Lions. They came in, bust that ass, stopped me. We had to switch it up, and we have a great coach with Days and with Cav, and we had a whole new game plan. We came out and found a way to get the job done and make it to the playoffs. But going to the running back market, when you talk about the running back, no, I don't agree with that. I think that it's not fair because I don't think Tennessee Titans is a great team, but Derrick Henry's one of those guys on the team. St. Fran's a great team, but Christian McCaffrey's one of those guys on the team. Josh Jacobs, the list go on and on. And I think when you talk about the New York Giants, I think even Pierce came on and said it. I have a lot of respect in this league, and I think that's how it should be viewed.
I'll say this. I'll go first. One of my favorite running backs is going to scare people. My favorite running back since I was a kid is Emmitt Smith. He made me want to play football. Now, look, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but I've always loved running backs. I've always wanted to be a running back. No, but you glad back on. I've said this publicly. I've always said this. I'm a fan of Emmitt Smith. Then after that, it's just like I just pick and choose who I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the running back position. Like every time I play Madden, I play running back.
Right.
Because 10 out of 10, they're going to get the ball first. You know what I mean? I want to run the ball. Give me the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Emmitt Smith was a shorter guy. He wasn't a big dude. Like, you know what I mean? I'm always like, yo, if I would have been in college, I would have been a running back. I don't want, you know what I mean? That's my, like, you know what I mean? Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Eddie George, I love running backs, you know what I mean? That's my thing. And like, I feel like with the game now, you got all these, they don't want to pay these guys like, yo, I could go and get somebody out of college, a Bijan Robinson or this. The running back, the position is devalued. Because they're like, all right, you've been playing football since, you've been a running back since in high school, right? You've been playing football. You got miles. You got okay. You ain't really gonna be running, hitting the pocket like that, getting big bursts like that. So we need fresh guys.
Right.
Like Zeke wasn't running away in his last year in Dallas. He wasn't running away. He was running rookie year. That wasn't the same guy. You know what I mean? Tony Pollard, he just snapped his ankle. He ain't gonna be the same guy coming into the league.
Right.
Coming in this season. That's why they got old buddy from TCU.
Right.
So no. Kansas State.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's like you can always get the running back is replaceable. Wide receivers. I think the wide receiver market is pretty much like, ain't too bad. Tight ends and quarterbacks. Quarterbacks don't get swapped around teams like that.
Unless you're Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's that. But 10 times out of 10, quarterbacks stay on their team they start with. Unless it's wins.
Right.
Mayfield. Quarterbacks are lifer. They like, I'm with this team for the rest of my life. As long as I'm throwing the ball, as long as I'm doing my job, I'm pretty much.
The offensive line is protecting me, and I got good receivers. And I'm good.
Yeah, so
they're gonna have a job.
Yeah, but like running backs, like it sucks because like that. You ain't got it no more. You got this. You ain't producing. You ain't like. I'm like. It sucks to see somebody like Miles Sanders lead the Eagles. Like, I like Miles. He's good. He's good, but he did. I guess like, hey, bro, you get somebody. You get somebody better. You get somebody. All right, it is what it is. But the running back market, I think it sucks. Then it sucks when the team lets you go. Now you look like where I'm gonna go. Cause I don't see nobody like a Zeke or a Dalvin Cook or a Derek. No, Derek Henry still with the team. I don't see people like that going to the damn XFL, no USFL. Right. I don't see it happening. Like, dude, I'm going somewhere.
Yep.
Gotta be a backup to somebody. Hey.
Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw these names out to you right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ezekiel Elliott, someone you named. Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, Mark Ingram, Giovanni Bernard, Darrell Williams, Dontrell Hilliard, and the newest one, the biggest one that came out, Dalvin Cook. It seems like, and I asked this question, and you say we're going to discuss it, and I asked this question. Is the running back position in the NFL, is it the most underappreciated position today? And it seems like we can both agree that the running back position, although it is a very potent weapon in anybody's offense, it seems like it is a very underappreciated altogether, because by listening to what Saquon just said in this little, interview or this little like soundbite, the fact that Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and him all got hit with a tag, and they capped the maximum amount of money at $10 million, not allowing them to get into free agency and test the waters, and also having all that control on their contract for that year, when in reality, next year rolls around, the draft comes around, there could be a running back out of Georgia like Nick Chubb, out of Texas like Bijan Robinson. There could be another running back from, like, let's say Rutgers, like Isaiah McKinney, like Isaiah. I have his name. He just won with Kansas City.
Shoot. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. But I put like, hell, you may even have a sleeper school. You get one of them schools like North Dakota State, one of them lower level schools that nobody think about.
Isaiah Pacheco. There you go.
Okay. I just feel like when it comes to running back, I feel like since it's so many, you can replace people so easy. Like, yo, we don't need to pay this guy. Why pay him? We get a fresh legs from the draft. Like, all right, who? What year you on? Your fifth year? All right, okay. I'm gonna pick it up. You want to pick? No? All right. What's this running back market look? Johnny Smith Jr. the fifth out of Rice University had 4,000 rushing yards, 24 touchdowns. All right, we want him. We're gonna look at him. Oh, Jackson Thomas from Wyoming. All right, he's good. You can just pick him out like it's like a whole. It's like going to.
You can have a scouting team of just like straight running backs and be like, okay, we got this guy from Rice, this guy from Wyoming, we got this guy coming out of Houston, we got a guy out of UCF. It's like the ability for these teams to look at all these rookies as replacements for these guys that are getting older. And don't get me wrong, like some of these guys that are on the free agent market right now, like Mark Ingram, Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, like those four names right there.
They're in there, like they're not old by
age standard, like they're not old, but by NFL standard,
Zeke is like 28, no 20, 27, 28.
28.
Dude, that's not old.
Mm-mm.
Like some of these guys, like, oh, he's by like in NFL years, you're done. Like, where you like, oh, like you're done, like, bro. Now you got
I think also if let's like if we were to talk about it like this, a lot of these teams are going to like OTAs, mandatory mini camps, and then training camps and whatnot, and then they're gonna like look at their rosters and finalize it and whatnot, and then maybe we'll see a guy like Dalvin Cook get picked up, or Ezekiel Elliott, or Leonard Fournette, or whatever. The situation is, though, I believe a lot of these teams right now, they've built their team out through the draft, and they got like 80, 90 guys on the roster trying to vie for a spot. So there's a lot of battles going on, and teams could be like, okay, depending on what happens moving forward throughout this process, you know, if we need to pick a guy up, we know there's somebody out there in the free agency that we can just call up and be like, hey, look, we got a spot. You're going to be running back 2 behind, like for Cincinnati, you're going to be running back 2 behind Joe Mixon, or for Philadelphia, who's your number 1 running back?
Shoot, I don't even know. I think it's going to be Swift.
So
it's going to be Gainwell or Swift. It's going to be one of the two.
Okay, so or like they'll call Dalvin Cook and be like, hey, you're going to be behind Swift, or you got hey, we need you to back up Austin Eckler. And Eckler's another situation right here where he demanded a trade out of the Chargers because of his contract situation, and he ended up signing a 1-year tender because like that was the only option he had. Like a lot of these teams right now are looking at the running back position, like you said, and they're like, well, we could look at getting you and bringing you to the team, or we can go to the draft and get a young guy, or like you know, let's say Denver, they just picked up a couple of guys. They picked up a couple of guys. You know,
yes, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna give it to you like
and whatnot.
It's kind of like saying, why get my car fixed? I done had this car for 20-some years.
Samaje Perine, that's what I was thinking of.
Say you had a car for like 20 years. Like, why do I need to keep this? No. What's like the first rookie kind of like how long has Zeke been with the Cowboys?
Ezekiel Elliott?
How long was he with the Cowboys? I'm about to go somewhere with this.
Okay, give me a second. He's only 27 years old, by the way, not 28.
Okay, 27. So he's been with the Eagles. Look, I keep saying Eagles, Cowboys for 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah, for the most part. Because remember, he came from Ohio State.
And so say you had a car for 8 years, but this is say you got it like your first car, like it wasn't the best, but it's like, why do I want to keep getting this car fixed when I can just buy a new one? Let me go ahead and I got the money. Let me just go ahead and get a decent car. It ain't got to be this year, but it's a cheap car, but it's up to date.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it look like. Why do I want to pay for this old car that may break down on me somewhere down the road if I'm going on a long trip? Mm-hmm. This joint may break down. I can't go. It's like you driving from Georgia to Austin. This car may break down somewhere down the line, but if I get a new car, I know I can make this trip from Georgia to Austin. I can take that car trip, but I don't know. I don't want to chance it
with the old car, if it's got like over 150,000 miles on it. Didn't check the engine, or you just like they said, oh yeah, it might do something here and there, and then you chance it, and the next thing you know, you break down in Mississippi.
Yeah, it's like now you stuck on the side of the road, plans fail. Then you just sit like, you know, you too cheap to rent a car. You don't want to get a new car. You just like, this is I got this car when I was in high school. So this is my first, like, get rid of it. That's how they feel. Like, I don't want to pay this guy. But then again, you're taking a gamble on the rookie guy, because what if this rookie you just signed week 1, first place, snaps his ankle in half?
Yes.
Now you wish you would have kept the guy you had. At least you know you can depend on this per eye. You feel me? Because either way, even if you keep the guy, tag him, and you get this new guy, it's like he gonna have to play behind this guy anyway. So he's gonna learn the ropes anyway. So it's like you might well just keep him, and if you see the dude you have ain't really producing, like, let's trade this guy. Let's trade him. Let's cut him or something.
Now, there are certain situations when it comes to decisions. Contracts could be one of them. You know, Dalvin Cook was trying to negotiate a contract with the Vikings. They couldn't come up with anything, and the Vikings said they were going to let him go. And, you know, ultimately they did. Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. They were all, I believe Kareem Hunt ran, you know, he was, you know, his deal ran out with Cleveland, so he's now a free agent. Ezekiel Elliott and I believe Leonard Fournette were cap casualties. And by cap casualty, I mean there's a certain amount of money that a team has allotted to spend for a season or whatever.
Right.
And some teams, they tend to go over that cap, or they're just under it to where like they'll be able to play around with the money that they got left. I believe with Tampa, they were over the cap by just that. They were over the cap. So they were trying to they were cash strapped pretty much. So they were pretty much letting guys go, cutting contracts to try and save money.
Right.
And I believe that's what happened with Leonard Fournette. And with Kareem Hunt, his contract ran out. He was only signed to a 3-year deal in Cleveland. So he's pretty much waiting for a team to pick him up. Probably if he does get picked up, he'll probably be on a 1-year tender or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, though, is like, you know, a lot of these guys that are, you know, waiting for a team to pick them up, or they're waiting for another opportunity, you know, it's pretty much a waiting game to see exactly how it's going to play out, because they're all going to be looking at what OTAs and mandatory minicamps and training camp is going to look like, because, you know, and I'm going to go back and use this situation, you know, with Baker and his situation last year. He didn't get traded until 2 weeks before training camp, and he had to learn a whole new playbook right then and there, like just as quick as possible.
And before we get up out of here, I feel like,
and like, hold on, let me get this point off real quick. Let me finish up. Okay, so like with him, he had to learn it real quick, and it's basically been an on-off situation. With a running back, yeah, you got to learn a new playbook, but like you don't have as much to learn. You learn blocking schemes, routes, run patterns, run designs, and your knowledge of the game, like your knowledge of that scheme, of that playbook, isn't going to be as strenuous as like a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're able to plug in and they're able to like adapt quicker. But I feel like with how things have shaken out with, you know, the money situation, with, you know, drafts and everything, you know, running backs haven't really gotten a fair shake. And who knows, maybe it's going to take something to shake it up a little bit, to where like a couple of these top end running backs are going to make their voices heard and be like, look, either give us a fair shot to get this going in the right direction into where we can get our money's worth, or, you know, don't come calling.
Right. And before we get back, I feel like, because man, we ran hella long. We got an hour. So I feel like with the running back mark, I feel like he said, paraphrasing what he said, like they don't want to set the market. They're like, yo, we don't want to set this. We don't want to be the person that set this running back market to. Because let's be real, Jerry Jones wrecked the running back market with paying Zeke $90 million with 50 guaranteed. I think like
it was a good chunk of money.
It was ridiculous. And ain't nobody giving nobody that.
It's like Cleveland like offsetting the market with Deshaun Watson's contract.
It's like you sit back like, all right, cool. Like nobody wants to be the first person to make the move. I don't want to. You want to? You want to? No.
We kind of saw that with the quarterback market of itself, like with Lamar Jackson in his contract situation, and Jalen Hurts and his contract, and how things played out.
Because they was still gonna budge for like who gonna say it first, who gonna do. Then they did. All right. It's like somebody.
They were waiting for someone to like set the table. Okay, we're gonna pay Jalen Hurts X amount of money for X amount of years. All right, cool. Now we got that. Hey Lamar, we're gonna finally pay you X amount for X amount of years, and it just one's up there, and it's like okay, cool. And now you're waiting for either Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow to get theirs, and it might overtake one of those. It's gonna overtake Lamar, maybe, but. Yeah. With the running back market, it's like when Jerry Jones did that with Zeke, it pretty much set the precedent on like, do we really want to pay $90 million for a running back? And the bad part about it is you said this. You've said this on many occasions.
What'd I say?
Once Zeke got that money, he was no longer hungry. Because you saw him do this.
Well, been doing this as often. He stopped.
As soon as he got paid, he got full. He got a bellyache.
He's like, I'm good now. I got the money. You could see, you can see it in his gameplay. And if you made it to this my final video, give us a thumbs up. This has been a show about nothing podcast. I'm your host, Jones88. Izzy Phantasmo. Thank you for tuning in. We gave y'all a hefty episode because
there was a lot to talk about. There was a lot of like shenanigans.
That Zion took us over the limit. But yo, we are out. See y'all next week. Hey.